think there's always been a sort of a cinematic element even through like all of the records. I think there's always been a want to make it feel as big as it can be and as expansive as it can be, whether that's string arrangements or synths or vocals or backing vocals or anything. I think we've always tried to make it as emotive and as dynamic as possible forever. We've never allowed ourselves to be limited about being a three-piece, but always made sure that without all the bells and whistles, it can just be three guys playing tunes with each other. I think from my side of things, I'm sort of, for the last maybe 4 or 5 years, been more involved in the production side of things and like doing that just in general. So every time I discover something new, I go, oh, I need to use that, I need to use this, I need to use that. Making Waves was on our third record, and it kind of just made up a story. Like, it's got a lyric about someone's brother being in the big house and it got bigger ideas than me, so it's just like that sort of conversation about being in a relationship where it's good and it's like, oh, I can't believe this is working, but also like with someone that can sort of put you in your place, that sort of thing, where there's no ideas bigger than your boots sort of thing. And that song was our first time. It took us to like Maida Vale, it took us to like America, it took us to like all these places, and it was just like quite a special turning point. People always go, what's the writing process for this, or how do you approach this and stuff like that, and some days that just happens and you can't explain it. It's just something happens, and that song was exactly that, and it sort of changed the landscape of the band. So it's awesome. The fact that it was like just like a no-nonsense, straight up rock pop song. I think everything else had always been trying to be really weird and a bit like, I don't know, too cool for school, and this is just like straight up. And that was the first song that I had ever written or we'd ever released that was in standard tuning. Not only is it a great song, not only did it take us to all these places, it sort of gave us another ability to have a conversation, so it was awesome.
I'm making waves with the girl down the street. She tells me secrets I don't think I can keep. She's got a brother in the big house, bigger ideas than me. I'm making waves with the girl down the street. Space in between. She gives me reasons for her actions that seem reasonable to me. She gives me help when I deserve it, and that's good enough for me. Somebody called it a long shot. Somebody called it a long shot. You think you know? See the options that I'm giving to you. You tell me secrets that I'll keep, and I won't say a thing you do. Somebody called it a long shot. Somebody called it a long shot. You think you know I need, and you think see what I see. And when this comes to an end, you'll say that
If my face didn't go. I think the experimental nature of it is just in the search for a good song. I think at the end of the day, everything that we've ever done gets taken back to an acoustic guitar, and if it's not as interesting without all of the gumph, then that gets worked on, and then everything else sort of happens after it. Maybe this will inspire that, or that will sort of influence this or the next thing, but essentially we've sort of always stuck to the rule of campfire songs. If you can't sing it around the campfire, then it's not going to work for the type of band that we are and the type of things that we want to do. Crying Wolf was the first song that we wrote coming out of the lockdown. I'd been writing loads of stuff for this record, and I really wanted to get in and just do something where we were just playing, and had this organ patch. I just started playing this organ, and then within we literally played those 3 chords for 45 solid minutes and never said a word to each other, and just had this phone recording in the corner of the room, and then that song was born, and it was just like the most like, it just feels like it's about to burst out of its own skin, because it's just like, oh my god. And it's obviously, subject matter at the time was all about being like, this is hellish and you know what's going on, but it's like Crying Wolf, the lyric sort of comes from that sort of brave face that everyone's putting on. So Crying Wolf is like, there's only so many times that you can say you're doing alright when you're not doing alright before people just don't believe it anymore. So that's sort of like the boy who cried wolf sort of thing. So that's where that came from. It's the most bandy song I think we've done for years, and I absolutely love it. And I think the sentiment carries that sort of hidden gem that seems to be getting slowly, people are slowly paying attention to it and going like, oh, that's class, and then it's starting to pick up steam, which is always a much more satisfying thing if a song has been on an album with track 11 or something like that, and then that's the one that starts to like pick up, because it means that the folk that are coming to the shows are actually listening to it, and that sometimes you don't even know, like you don't know what the best song on a record is. Other people will let you know, and I'm just happy that that's happening with that song now. If I had to play one song from that record in every show for the rest of my life, it would be this song.
Thanks for lifeline. You say it's a lifetime lost to Crying Wolf. It wasn't easy, but you talked a lifetime up to Crying Wolf. Thanks for a moment. Say it's a timeline drawn like this. I'm just crying. I'm just crying. I'm just crying. I'm just crying. Find me in the rubble. 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 Find me in the rubble.
Nice. Because the guitar sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, smashing, yeah.
I like
Yeah.
yeah. Most of the pickup as well.
Yeah, it's mental. But it sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds
Thanks,
great.
yeah, it's really cool. Really happy with that.
Yeah.
So, Peace of Mind, I wrote with my friend Bruce. We just pulled up a whole bunch of weird drum samples and trumpet samples and stuff like that, and then just started writing this really weird song. Basically, the inspiration kind of came from like Rat Packy, like straighten up and fly, right? So like when the trumpet came in, we were just like, let's do something like that, but if you can imagine how Radiohead might do it. So it was like, let's just write the most bizarre lyrics that we can and just see if we can get some semblance of a tune out of this. It's just never saw the light of day for ages, and then we went away and made another record, and in the last sort of 6-9 months rediscovered those songs. So we put it out and it sounds amazing, and it's just been like this great Joey, we like if something sticks in your head for long enough, you're like, no, that is actually good. And it's been a pleasure to get back out on the road and actually get to play this weird song that I wrote in my pal's spare room 4 years ago, and I absolutely love it.
So good, you see. There's signs that I'm floating round here. No place of mine to go. There's peace of mind escaping. Stand up straight and fly right. I didn't leave the house today until it was pretty much tomorrow. Kill time by my side, kill time by my side. Time by my side, you say stand up straight and fly right. I didn't leave the house today until it was pretty much tomorrow. Girl, time by my side, girl, time by my side. Sometimes you believe in yourself too much. Sometimes you believe in yourself too much. Sometimes you believe in yourself. you believe in yourself too much.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Happy days.